Biohazard warning. Entering contaminated zone. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
Happy Throwback Thursday, agents! Your boy Sly here with your weekly State of the Game update. Now, while the Division pushes out its weekly maintenance, the guys over at Massive put on a small stream on Twitch, and they talk about, like, community stuff, fixes, plans, stuff like that. So if you're trying to stay up to date on everything Division, check out their Twitch channel on Thursdays. Or if not, your boy Sly has your back, and I always give you guys the Spark Notes version of everything that went on. So let's go ahead and dig in, y'all. First up, challenge mode is now unlocked. Yep. You heard that right, ladies and gents. If you got the skills and the stomach to try out challenge mode, then today is going to be y'all's day. Now, some quick tips that you should all hear from the guys at Massive. First is that people should learn their roles and know when to apply them. This is the first instance in the Division where pulling enemy aggression is actually needed. So I'm guessing all those MMO RPG lovers out there are freaking crying with joy to actually see some gameplay move over towards that side. I do have a Clear Sky Incursion guide that you can find right here, or you can click the link in the description box below if you don't have annotations turned on. The idea is going to be the same for challenge mode, but your timing and positioning will be absolutely critical. So this vid is going to be a great start on working towards challenge mode. I recommend having 2 tanky DPS players and 2 assault techs. Smart cover and healing is going to be a big factor here, so use it wisely. So I plan to make a challenge guide within the next week. I first want to try out a couple new strategies and give you guys the best guide possible. So look for that later on. Alright, so while we're on the topic of incursion, one of the fixes that was implemented today pushed back the no respawn zone to a little deeper inside the incursion start area. There was a glitch that constantly reloaded players over and over again, and that popped up once you joined a group that, while they hadn't quite started it yet, still were technically inside the zone. That was a no respawn zone. This caused it to glitch out a lot. They pushed back the no respawn area just a little further away from the start, so when you fast travel to the incursion, you won't end up triggering this glitch. If it does continue and you end up joining a group late or something like that, you have to bring everyone back to the start and then change the difficulty. Select challenging, exit the menu, go back into the menu and reset it back to hard. This will actually reset the entire incursion, and with everyone at the beginning will allow you all to enter without any problems. So moving on to the other fixes that were pushed in today's patch is pretty much just about the teleporting areas within the DZ and one other instance in the light zone. Now, a lot of rogues were using this exploit that teleported them into a checkpoint so they could just wait the rogue timer out there and collect all the XP and cash. There was a certain area within the subway tunnels underneath Dark Zone 6, and another more recent find, also in DZ6, were shut down as of today. These have both been patched, and hopefully no more spots will be found. A less big of a deal, there was a teleporting area found in the northwest light zone. It was actually inside an electronics store. This has also been fixed. It teleported you back to a safe house, I believe. A week ago, there was only one known area, and that was the subway tunnel in DZ6. Now there are 3 total, so I'm willing to bet that more areas are out there. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. So as far as fixes go, that is all she wrote, guys. But now let's get into a hot topic as of late, and you guys probably already know where I'm going to go with this, and that is critical hit chance. So among the plethora of talents, skills, and perk issues that plagued the Division early on, this one is now just coming to light. Critical hit chance plays a huge role in DPS, and beforehand, players could mod their way to an insane amount of critical hit chance. The cap was always intended to be at 60%, and technically was for weapons and mods, but it can be fairly easy to go over that by finding a good SMG, the right mods, and the right armor combination. Like I said, the right combination of armor could end up getting you a lot more critical hit chance, and the game was bugged to allow armor mods to exceed the critical hit chance cap. So with another bugged mechanism, they fixed it in the 1.2 update, but reportedly forgot to add it into the patch notes. So now the critical hit chance percentage is hard capped at 60%, period. It was always intended to be 60%, and I guess it kind of was, but now it is set in stone. I really don't mind it all that much. I mean, almost 2/3 of your magazine will be critical shots. That is still a huge amount of extra damage. And besides, you have to take your time to find all these critical hit chance increases, like to mod them correctly without destroying your set. So while it may be easy to hit like 40 to 45% critical hit chance, getting to 60 still takes a little bit of effort, and I think it's a good thing that players can't hit you with 100% crit hits. This also gives now more of an incentive to shoot for critical hit damage increase, and when modded correctly, I can see them easily reaching into the hundreds of thousands. So, while we're on weapons, they had a community question asked about how they will address the underperformance of LMGs, assault rifles, and shotguns. So the quick answer is that they do have a huge change coming to all of these weapons. Each weapon will have their own damage specialty. Just like how SMGs have extra critical hit chance and marksman rifles have headshot damage, all the others besides sidearms will receive these as well. However, this will be a big change coming to the expansion at the end of the month, which will be update 1.3. Now the only thing left to talk about is scavenging. With bosses now dropping 100% guaranteed high ends, scavenging isn't quite as needed as it used to be. Right now, scavenging doesn't increase the amount of drops, but only the quality of the drop. This also doesn't apply to gear score, and having high scavenging will not increase the possibility of having a higher gear score item dropped. However, it does work for materials, and if you're in the lower DZ bracket, it will also increase chances for high-end division tech. This works the same for looting tool chests or electronic stores. Having higher scavenging means a higher chance for high-end materials. However, it is being reworked, and the new version will be launched in the next big update. Lastly, let's talk about E3. With Activision and EA pulling out of the big expo, Ubisoft stepped in and took over some of the open slots. So the two community managers, Hamish and Yannick, will be traveling to E3, and on Tuesday at 8 p.m. West Coast time, they will be live on Twitch, streaming on the Ubisofts channel along with Rainbow Six Wildlands. They also hinted at some cool stuff to be announced, and I'm guessing that this is when we will get our first few gameplay glimpses of the next expansion coming to the Division. Also, its first expansion, which, believe it or not, is supposed to hit this month. So definitely looking forward to that. Remember, it's this coming up Tuesday at 8 p.m. West Coast time. That's 11 p.m. Eastern and 5 a.m. Central European time. Remember, it won't be on the Division channel. This is a Ubisoft event and will be aired on the Ubisoft channel on Twitch. Or I'm sure you can find it through the E3 live stream. But that's it, agents. Can't wait to see all the goodies coming from E3 next week. And speaking of goodies, if you're a Destiny fan, don't forget that they are unveiling their new expansion in a reveal livestream today, which is June 9th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to see that, I'll have it recorded for those who can't tune in, and I'll also have a recap of my own that'll be posted later on today. But that's all she wrote, y'all. June promises to be an awesome month, and I cannot wait to see what this new expansion has to bring us. But enough about the future. Time for challenge mode, guys. Good luck, have fun, and until next time, this is your boy Sly. Done, gone, out.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.